Today, in a New York courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs looked at the judge and said, "Sorry, Your Honor, I'm a little nervous today." And he should be, because he's not facing drama. He's facing serious federal charges: sex trafficking, racketeering, witness intimidation. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. But then, things took a twist. The judge brought in Ben Chew, Johnny Depp's lawyer, to consult on jury strategy. Diddy's legal team was caught off guard. Behind the scenes, he was furious. This is Headley's, and we're pulling the lid off the courtroom everyone else is scared to touch. Over 160 people have been called in to serve on the jury. Almost 50 were dismissed right away. The rest had to answer more than 100 questions. Questions like, where do you get your news? Have you seen anything about this case? Can you be fair toward Diddy? And yes, most of them had already seen the video, the 2016 surveillance footage, where Diddy was seen attacking Cassie Ventura, knocking her down, kicking her, dragging her in a hotel hallway. One juror said, "It was upsetting, but I can still hear the facts." Now, 35 jurors remain. They come from all walks of life: designers, nurses, teachers, factory workers, retired folks. Some are in their 30s, some are in their 80s. They get their news from everywhere: YouTube, TikTok, CNN, Reddit. This is not an isolated jury. They know Diddy. They've seen the headlines. They've heard the rumors. Ben Chew says this is a very different kind of trial. It's not about contracts. It's about trauma. It's about behavior. And it's about power. In celebrity trials, attorneys use jury consultants. They analyze jurors' social media, public opinions, and even what memes they share. Diddy's legal team is likely building profiles on each juror, what they believe, what makes them uncomfortable, and what might sway their vote. According to Chew, Diddy's team wants young people, open minds, people who aren't shocked by adult content, more men than women, and fewer older, conservative types who may react emotionally. He said social media use isn't a problem, unless the juror follows deep legal commentary or breakdowns. This jury is being handpicked like a casting call, because one wrong pick could change everything. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex, might testify, even though she signed an NDA, even though she received a payout. Dr. Umar Johnson blasted the idea. He said if she got paid and signed a non-disclosure agreement, she should not be allowed to testify. He compared it to the Bill Cosby case, where women under NDA were still brought in as witnesses, and he claimed this kind of treatment wouldn't happen to white men. Dr. Omar also supported Diddy's request for more time. One of his lawyers had just stepped away, and Diddy was being held in jail without bail. Still, the judge pushed forward, and the trial moved ahead. But this case goes far beyond Cassie. Prosecutors say Diddy ran secret events known as freak-offs, private parties with drugs, sex workers, and cameras. Women were reportedly coerced into participating. Drugs were handed out, including ketamine and mushrooms, and many of the encounters were filmed. Some recordings were later used for blackmail, according to official court documents. This wasn't just about a party lifestyle, it was about control. Then came Chopper. Former Bad Boy artist Chopper said he'd seen things inside Diddy's home: sex toys, whips, dominatrix setups. He described the energy as dark. Everyone knew to stay silent. He said, "What happens in here stays in here," because everyone had something to lose. Chopper also described major celebrities at those parties, people everyone would recognize, and how the silence made it all possible. Then came another story. An ex-MTV cameraman said Diddy invited him to the office and propositioned him. The cameraman left. He never returned to the show. And to this day, he says it was one of the worst moments of his life. So how is Diddy's team defending him? They're calling it consensual. They say Diddy lived a wild swinger lifestyle, but that everything was agreed to. They claim the video of Cassie was just a messy fight. They say she stayed in the relationship for years after, and that lawsuits are twisting reality. One of his top lawyers, Mark Agnifilo, says Diddy is not a criminal, just an imperfect man. But here's the thing, Diddy rejected a plea deal. He could have walked away with a lighter sentence, but he said no. That means he's either incredibly confident or incredibly desperate. Let's talk stakes. If Diddy is found guilty on all counts: sex trafficking, racketeering, witness tampering, he could spend the rest of his life in federal prison. This isn't a PR nightmare. It's not getting canceled. It's actual prison time. Prosecutors have disturbing video evidence, witnesses, testimony, messages from Cassie about bruises, photos, details from inside those freak-off parties. This trial could reveal 20 years of secrets, 20 years of threats, 20 years of silence, and it all comes down to 12 jurors, chosen from people who never asked to be involved. Their decision will make or break one of the biggest names in music history. So what do you think? Will Diddy walk free? Or is this the collapse of a mogul? Let us know in the comments. We'll be covering the full trial, and when Cassie takes the stand, we'll break it all down. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked into Headlines, because here we show you what they won't.